Now I want to share this with you. Watch this. Author Jill Hardie, her husband, and their 2 children began the tradition of placing a sparkle box for Jesus under their Christmas tree, I think about 6 years ago. And it's done something so special for their celebration that it just had to be shared. And so we have the sparkle box and the concept that we are going to unfold right here, right now. Jill, thank you for coming from North Canton, Ohio.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
And for bringing your 2 main men here.
Yes.
Your daughter is 21 and not living at home.
She's a senior at Hiram.
But she still participates.
Yes, yes. We enjoy this tradition so much, and she looks forward to it every year.
Tell us, this is the original Sparkle Box. Tell us how this all began.
Well, we used to give gifts of compassion in honor of family members at Christmas time. And then when my husband and I really talked about it, we talked about, you know, who are we really honoring when we give gifts of compassion? And at the same moment, we got it that we really honor Jesus because he taught us that whatever we do for the least of our brothers and sisters, we do for him. And so we decided, why not still give gifts of compassion at Christmas time, but put them in a gift box and open them up for Jesus on Christmas morning. So that's how the tradition started.
And this is the gift that gets opened first. It is Jesus' birthday, after all.
Yes,
right?
Yes. It's such a special moment to open up that gift before we open up our own. And there's such a feeling of joy and love in the room. And then, you know, after we open up the gift that honors him, then we exchange gifts with each other. And it's in that same spirit of love that we do that. And it's just really wonderful.
I love how personal this is. If you can get in close here, I'll try and move the bow a bit. To Jesus, in honor of your birthday. Love, Tim, Jill, Katie, and Jack. Now, what's inside?
Well, it's the gifts of compassion that we've decided to give Jesus, and we, you know, talk about it for weeks ahead of time, which is just such a great way to center Christmas. We talk about, you know, what can we do to really honor Jesus this Christmas? So it can be anything. We've done, like, sponsored a goat from Heifer International, because a goat will provide milk for the family, which is nutrition, and they can also use it to sell and make cheese and sell that too, and then they can use those funds to do things like provide education for their children.
Community transformation
Yes.
is definitely the way to go. And as you illustrate here, many ministries have their own Christmas gift catalog, don't they?
Right, they do, and that's a great way to get children involved because they translate it into terms that kids can understand. For example, it might be a flock of chicks, but then it shows how those chicks produce eggs and how that provides nutrition to the family. Or it might talk about the need for clean water and what can happen to children if they don't have clean water, that it can make them very sick. And so that children could really translate that then into, you know, how this helps people.
They're getting an education
Yes.
about developing countries and
Sure.
being a change agent.
Right, that they have the power to make a difference. And also, another great thing is it teaches them how blessed that they are with what they have.
Now, this is a very small box, and it's interesting that in the story, Sam, let me just show you 2 pictures inside. Sam is intrigued about this silver box under the tree. He does not. I've probably got my finger on the box. There we are. I'm pushing it up. See, right there at my finger is the silver box. He doesn't know what this is all about until Christmas morning. So in this case, he has not participated. Next Christmas, of course, it'll be a tradition. But on the following page, you see what happens to be inside this box. See the little pieces of white paper? I'm going to read them to you just to save you with that zoom in, guys. Mittens and a candy bar given to someone in need. There's something simple, small, very affordable. Warm blankets and food for the homeless. A well in Africa that will provide clean drinking water. So this is what Sam discovered. Am I giving too much away?
No, not at all.
Okay, too late now. That was what he learned when he discovered what the Sparkle Box was all about that first Christmas for him.
That's right, that's right. And they were acts of compassion that he had witnessed or participated directly in. For example, the mittens and the candy bar given to someone in need. He had bought that candy bar with his own money. But someone comes through a store right after he buys it, and he recognizes this man as someone that was homeless, that he saw on a park bench when he was with his mom. And so he just thinks about that man, and he looks cold and tired, and he's just moved suddenly with compassion to give him the mittens that he bought and the candy bar that he bought with his own money. So
Lovely.
Compassion is born in his heart in that moment. It's one of my favorite parts of the book.
It can start small.
Yes,
it can
definitely.
start so affordable. I love your sparkle jar. Take a look on the table there, guys. And this takes us in a direction that I think really works for the children. Tell us about it.
Well, a lot of times kids like to feel like they're making a difference. They like to buy gifts with their own money. That can be such a sense of empowerment for them to feel like they're really making a difference and that they're truly honoring Jesus with a gift. And just like our kids give us gifts that aren't very expensive sometimes at Christmas, but we know that they thought just of us, you know, it makes Jesus just as happy to know they're thinking of him.
And you look really delighted when you open it.
Oh, yes.
Even if you're not sure what it is.
Right, exactly.
Mom? Right.
Exactly. So kids can earn money on their own. On the sparklebox.com, there's a chore chart that you can download for your child, and it enables them to, you know, save up money to buy a gift for Jesus. And they can put that money in a sparkle jar that they've made so that they can tangibly see what it is that they're working towards.
Mom and Dad, this can work for you. I don't want to be selfish in my emphasis here, but look, I mean, what have I got there? Walking the dog. Now, Grandma's getting the benefit of this, and $2 to walk the dog. Okay, and then what's the other one here? Make my bed is the job, and Sister Grace is paying $1.
That's right.
To have that done for her.
Sure.
And
maybe
it goes
for
in
a week or a month.
Okay.
Right.
For a whole week, you only get $1? You work it out, folks. You work it out, grandmas, grandpas, and parents, siblings. And then the money goes in the jar, and that money goes to a project, large or small.
Right. Even a pair of mittens only costs maybe $2 or $3, so they can save up money. Or if you want to have them contribute to a food drive, or if they want to do that, they can buy a box of macaroni and cheese for $1. You know, so it's really about just the child feeling like they are contributing and making a difference.
Now, I love the suggestion. We were talking in the green room about those gifts that cost nothing monetarily, but giving of yourself. And you talked about children going and visiting a nursing home, seniors home, and maybe even making a commitment to do it regularly throughout the year as their gift to Jesus.
Right. There are so many things that you can do as a family or as an individual that bring joy to someone, that take care of someone who's lonely or in need. And there's a lot of lonely people in nursing homes that never have visitors. So that's a great idea to teach kids compassion. Or you could volunteer at a soup kitchen, you know, once a month as a family. So there are a lot of different opportunities out there.
Wow, this is the season we are in, and you have made it so grabbable. Your pastor has given a sparkle box to every family in your church.
That's right, and then they're basing Advent around the idea of helping those in need. So every week there's a different topic, like imagine a world where no one is hungry, imagine a world where no one is thirsty, imagine a world where no one is lonely. And so then the pastor is encouraging church members to, you know, think of something they can do to put in the sparkle box that addresses those different needs. And this past Sunday, they had children up at the front of the church who needed sponsored through Compassion International, and invited anyone that was interested to come up and take a packet. And our family did do that, and it's just such a great thing to put in a sparkle box.
You know, this season opened with some big dollar news. Powerball lottery in your country? Last week, a record $587,500,000 to that endeavor. Americans spent $61 billion on lottery tickets this year. It's a lot of change. I just see this as, first of all, a reaching for hope you know.
Definitely.
Matthew says the very sound of his name signals hope, Jesus. And there is nothing as rewarding, as satisfying as the joy of giving. It's like the law of gravity. Give and it shall be given to you. You will be on the receiving end of what you do not expect. And I really believe, Jill, I know you do too, that this is the answer for people who feel stuck, whether they're stuck in grief or just bah humbug because they really don't like Christmas. And they're just in so much misery that the sparkle of the lights and everything that goes with this is an offense. This is a way to find what you don't expect.
It's true, it's true. You know, giving gifts of compassion just opens up something in your heart. And I truly believe that just as God has given us different talents, God has given us different gifts of compassion in our hearts. And so I would encourage people to think of, you know, those things that they've always felt tugged at their heart to do, whether it's to work with people to help them become literate, or to sponsor a child, or mentor a single mom, or, you know, just any of those things that you've thought of doing, but you think, oh, I don't have the time to do those. I'd encourage people to look into that, because that's where the true joy comes from.
You've made this a real family affair. We can go to your website and you've got coloring. You can download Sparklebox coloring projects for the little ones.
Right.
And what's the bag about?
The bag is actually just one of the different containers that we actually first put Jesus's gifts in. So we didn't use the same box year after year in the beginning, and so this was just one of the gift bags that we put under our tree that had Jesus's gifts in them.
You can make it anything, folks. I'm sure that's pretty obvious. But Jill, just to help you out, has put in the back of the book a sparkle box that you can pop out of there, and here's what it looks like when you do. Your very own sparkle box.
Right.
Feel free to use anything. And I think this is, some people often do something, they have birthday cakes for Jesus and all kinds of things. But I think this is a game changer, to make sure that Jesus, number one, is the focus. And then, as illustrated in the book, it's also a focus on the significance of the season of Christmas.
Right, right. And one great thing about this tradition, I love that you brought up the birthday cake, because that's a great tradition. But one thing I love about this tradition is that it recognizes Jesus in the present as he is with us today. It recognizes that he is living with us, that he is present. And it teaches kids to think of Jesus in those terms, because a lot of times at Christmas they picture Jesus in the manger. And what I'm hoping this story will also do is let those kids know that Jesus is real. He is with you. He is someone that is your friend and your Savior, and he's right here with you. And what a great thing to do to honor him. And kids really pick up on that. It makes sense to them to leave a gift for Jesus on Christmas, because they identify with the fact that it's his birthday, and on birthdays we exchange gifts.
You
and they
get
just
presents
really,
on your birthday.
Right, and they love it. I mean, they've really just grabbed a hold of it, and it just pleases me to no end.
Well, thank you for sharing this.
Well, thank you.
From your family to all of ours. And this book is available at our e-store. You are at a book signing today. For anyone in Burlington who'd like to meet and talk with Jill, she will be at Family Christian Bookstore this afternoon, 1:30 to 3:30. And that might be something you like to do. Take the kids and share your ideas. And if you're looking for ways to teach your children or grandchildren the deeper meaning of Christmas, a sweet deliverance from the commercial craze at this time of year, why not add a sparkle box to your treasured traditions? One Ohio pastor, it is yours, is making it happen for the whole congregation. Who knows what'll come from this? Go to our e-store for your copy of The Sparkle Box, crossroads.ca, 1-800-265-3100. And let's all be thinking outside the box this Christmas.